Hello everybody, welcome to Chuck's Diecast Car and Model Review. Today we're taking a look at actually two models of the same car. For many of you, and I know this, just talking to so many fans of Ferraris, the Ferrari F40 as we have here is sort of the holy grail of Ferraris that everybody wants. Honestly, it's not my favorite just because it's, as a street car, it has so many compromises, but at the same time, it is a fantastic car. The F40 was, at the time, the fastest Ferrari ever made. It was made in celebration of the 40th anniversary of the Ferrari as a manufacturer. It was actually designed to be a race car, but it ended up not really having that great of a racing history and was more famous as a street car as a result. When these came out, and I remember when these first came out, they were selling for the ridiculous amount of about $500,000 a piece, which was just nuts, and they were only going to make a limited number of them. They were only going to make like 300 or 400 of them. And Ferraris were selling them to people, and then they were immediately doubling their price on the open market. They'd sell them. Ferrari would sell them for $500,000, and the owners would immediately take them and sell them for $1 million. Then Ferrari realized, hey, we can make a lot more money off of these things, and they ended up building, I believe, about 1,300 of them, which didn't make the speculators very happy, but certainly made car collectors happy. So, but anyway, these two models are actually by two different manufacturers. The one we're looking at here in the front is by Bburago, and the one in the back is by Hot Wheels. Why did I get two of them? Well, I blame a guy who has his own YouTube page called Imperial Diecast for that. He had a model of this, and he pointed out the fact that this model made by Bburago is actually not the production version of this car. It is actually the prototype version, and of course I didn't know this. I'm not that observant, and of course Mr. Imperial Diecast is. The differences you can tell that between it and the production versions are that you'll see here that it has 5 extractor vents here behind the rear tires, but if you look here at the Hot Wheels, the production version, it has 4. Also, the plastic, plexiglass rear engine cover has far more vents on the back than the production version. So I blame Imperial Diecast for this, that I had to shell out extra money to buy a second version, but to be honest, I'd actually been wanting to get a Hot Wheels version anyway, so it's all good. I've actually had this model for probably 20 years now, and this the Bburago isn't bad. Of course, it does have the compromises that you expect from a budget model. For example, the regular F40, as you can see here, has a plexiglass side window with a little sliding panel in there. This one doesn't even have a window at all, which of course is not the way it should be. The decals are good. I mean, they are good decals, except of course these are more stickers than decals, and the whole front end is one transparency that covers up the headlights and even the NACA ducts in the front, so that you can see here that the NACA ducts are actually closed off by the sticker, and then also the headlight frame edges are also not covered up by the plastic as well, so looks a little bit on the cheesy side. And also, if you look here as well, it's hard to tell because back in the day, wheel sizes weren't as large as they are now, but this car does not have any brake rotors or calipers in there either. Although the interesting thing here, if you'll notice, is that it does have the hood lockdown strap, but the Hot Wheels doesn't, which is kind of interesting because you expect Hot Wheels to actually have a little bit more detail, but that is missing. Speaking of the hood strap here, let's go ahead and take a look underneath the hood here of this guy. Detail isn't bad, all things considered. None of it is painted, and it's all red plastic except for the spare tire, which is a little bit on the chintzy side, but to be expected. Although what is not expected is, if you can look here at the very front, the grill at the front, and also for the brake ducts, are actually perforated plastic. And of course, with a lot of these models, these are actually just solid plastic with, you know, the impression of a grill in it. So, hey, that's actually, you know, that's actually pretty nice there by Maisto to you know, go ahead and do that detail. You can see here in the front as well. But yeah, not bad. The Ferrari badge, of course, is just a decal there. Detail in the headlights, not too bad. You know, or I guess that's the driving lights and the turn signals, not the headlights, but not too bad. Let's go ahead and take a look, you know, at the back end of the car here as well. And again, you'll see that, again, this is perforated plastic. So again, nicely done by Bburago to do that as well. Let's see if I can get the little well, I guess I can't get the lift out there because it's kind of stuck underneath the rear radiator there, as you can see. But I'll just go ahead and hold up the engine cover so you can take a look here. Detail under there isn't bad for, you know, the value. You can see here that it has the again the intercoolers there, the twin intercoolers for the twin turbos. The detail on the intakes is actually pretty cool, and so not bad. And then of course you can see the I guess the representation of the turbos here underneath there, as well as the muffler and the interesting triple exhaust that F40s have. Detail for the wheels and tires, not bad either. I believe these are Michelin or Pirelli P0s on this car, and again, pretty decent. Representation of the tread pattern of those tires. Taking a look under the, or at the interior here. Sorry about the dust, but it is an old model, as I mentioned. And again, you can see here that it's not too bad. The cockpit looks good. I doubt that the F40 had chrome pedals, but again, it doesn't look bad. Even the shift lever doesn't look bad, except for the fact that the shift lever is actually outside of the gated shifter to the back of the gated shifter, which is kind of humorous. But, you know, that's all right as well for a budget car also. Door panels, you can see the hollow door panels here. And I'm sure that this red thing here is a representation of the pull strap that's made of fabric that you use to pull the door open. And taking a look on the other side here, again, a little bit of detail there on the passenger seat and the console. Again, not bad. Okay, and of course the cool thing is when you open up the front end and the back end, it all just looks really cool like that. So let's go ahead and do that here. And so there you go. All right, now let's go ahead and take a look at the Hot Wheels here, okay? Now, of course, the Hot Wheels version is a little bit supposedly higher end model than the Bburago, but you can kind of tell the paint does look a little bit better. Again, it has the side window with the proper sliding panel in there, although that doesn't move, which is kind of to be expected. One would kind of hope that the rear slots here would be a little bit sharper, but they're not. And they also did take the time to put in the screw holes here for mounting the rear wing onto the pillar there, so that's not bad either. But again, you can also take a look at this model and you can see that it does have brake rotors in there and calipers too, but I don't think the calipers on an F40 were silver. So, but again, not bad. Taking a look, of course, under here, you can see it has sort of the same detail as the Bburago. In fact, it's pretty comparable. Again, it has the plastic mesh, just like the other one. And this detail in here is a little bit sharper, and there's also the fan there for the radiator as well. So, again, not bad. And I think that this little strap here holding down the tire is a little bit better detail than the Bburago as well. And looking at the front here, you can see that the detail on the front here is a little bit sharper. In that you can see that the headlights do have sort of the defrost, or not the headlights. Again, you always confuse that because they look like headlights, but that's the driving lights and turn signals. It has little grooves in there representing the defroster. So yeah, not bad. And taking a look at the rear of the car here, at least with this one, you can actually prop open the engine, and it goes in that little thing there. Honestly, it's pretty much comparable to the Bburago, as you can see here, but it does show a little bit more detail. Like, for example, look at the muffler and the differences in color, between the various parts of the exhaust system and the suspension here. Tires look a little bit better, and but again, it's relatively close to the Bburago, and except this is just a shade sharper. I mean, you can even see here that it actually has a real spring here as part of the suspension, whereas the Bburago just has a little plastic thing representing the rear spring. I'm not sure which is correct, but you can also see that this has Ferrari in the back and this one does not. So I don't know who has it right. Also, you can see here that there are straps for this and not for the Hot Wheels. Okay, and taking a look at the interior of the Hot Wheels, it is a little bit sharper, as you can see here. The gated shifter sort of has the same problem as the Maisto, in that the shifter is behind the gates, but again, you know, that's okay. It does have the same chrome pedals in there. It's just a little bit sharper, but again, you know, in the end, it's sort of comparable to the Maisto as well. It also has the same decent quality bucket seats and plastic seat belts there too. So, so I would call this, you know, the Hot Wheels version, you know, somewhat better. I wouldn't say, a little bit more than marginally better than the Bburago, but again, it is, you know, the Bburago still holds itself up well. So, in the end, I do have two versions now, and again, I have the Bburago in the prototype, and then the production version with Hot Wheels. So I'm very happy with that. So that is pretty much all I have for today. I hope you enjoyed that video. And of course, you know, thanks again to Mr. Imperial Diecast for pointing out the difference between these two particular models and cars. And you know, I hope you all enjoyed this video, and that you actually like and sign up for my channel. Take care and have a great day.